Mansfield today on a Thursday, and it's actually my favourite day. I enjoy doing every show, but for some reason, maybe just because I love travel, the travel show is always my best. And we've got a really exciting announcement to make in this our last week of live broadcasts from Mansfield today. From next week, you may or may not be aware, we're going to be reviewing the best of Mansfield today over the last 7 months. We're taking the best bits according to your viewership on our YouTube channel, and we're going to be rebroadcasting those because there may be things that you've forgotten about or may want to catch up with. There may be the Angela Grizzi interview that Advocate Lance Brogden and I did. There may be the Chris Gibbons interview that he did with Clem Santa about his new book. There are a whole lot of aspects of medical that have come through, especially during this COVID crisis, that Dr. Vicky Skitter has addressed, which you may want to catch up with. So we're catching up with a whole lot of stuff during the course of the year, from Monday next week through until the 10th of January, when we're back live on air here on Mansfield Today, with a whole lot of changes over the weekend as well. We're going to be looking at Sam and I doing the usual, trying to find the word. Okay, I'm going to have to say it, the usual shit that we do. And then we're looking at the lifestyle features. We're looking at gardening, and we're looking at a new cooking show, which is going to still involve Chef MLK, but it's going to be a lot more interactive. And then on Sundays, we're going to a more interactive motoring show, and then the all-new exciting gaming show, where NAG and Matrix and Toms and MCI come in, and we go into gaming in a big way, and new technology that's coming out with gaming and outside gaming as well. So a lot of new stuff to look forward to in Mansfield today come the beginning of 2022. It's our last travel show for 2021, and it's a pleasure to reintroduce somebody who's been on the show before, an old friend of ours, Ross Falk, the Managing Director of MSC Cruises, Southern Africa. Ross, it's been a topsy-turvy year, as we've said to everybody in the travel industry. Is it starting to, for want of a better phrase, level out from a cruising point of view?
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy, and thanks for the privilege to be on your show. I think it's great, and hello to your listeners. Yeah, I think the sort of progression of cruising going forward globally is something of recovery towards the middle of 2022 and 2023. As we get sort of more information about variants, as we get more information about COVID, we are able to align our protocols to be safer and better equipped to deal with the challenges. And I think that makes guests feel a little bit safer. So, overall, I think we're going to see some kind of recovery, but it'll be slow through 2022 and into 23.
Speaking of COVID, we have to address it. There must be, especially on a confined space like a ship, where you're doing anything between a 2-night cruise and a 10-day cruise. You're in a very confined area, so your COVID restrictions and regulations must be very, very tight under those circumstances.
Yeah, so the COVID restrictions are massive in terms of the requirements on board. So just in terms of an itinerary question, we only run 3 and 4 night cruises. So we've got nothing longer than a 3 and 4 night at the moment, simply because we want to protect guests and expose from as little as possible. We do have 1 6-night on Christmas. In terms of the protocols, we've got every passenger requires a PCR test to climb on board. Children aged between 2 and 11 require an additional antigen test prior to embarkation. We've recently changed to a fully vaccinated only cruise, just in order to protect people and the health and safety. All of our crew are vaccinated. We clean more regularly and frequently on the vessel. Frequent touch points are cleaned every hour. Crew are tested once a week. We have quarantine facilities on board. If someone does show symptoms, they're immediately quarantined, as well as close contacts. And then 100% fresh air pumped through the vessel, so there's no recycling of air. And in addition to that, we have, increased the medical capacity on board with nurses and doctors to ensure that we've got enough medical staff to handle any situation.
Let's move away from the COVID side of it, because I think on every single show that we've done on Mansfield today for I don't know how long, Ross, COVID has come up in some form or another, and I think as much as we have to pay attention to it and do the right thing, I think a lot of us are just getting sick and tired of talking about COVID. So let's talk about the fun aspects here of cruising, because there are still a huge amount of people in South Africa who have never ventured on board one of your marvelous ships and done or experienced what MSC does within the Southern African waters. For somebody who has never gone on a cruise before, tell them, fortunately I have, tell them what they can expect and what sort of fun comes through in this, and what the advantages are of cruising over other types of holidays, because a lot of South Africans are looking at holidaying within Southern and South Africa.
Yeah, I think the cruise offers an opportunity to experience an international flavor with a local kind of palate. It's very cost effective in terms of it has accommodation, entertainment, food, all included. Obviously, the only extra is drinks. So depending on your appetite for that element of your holiday, you could be quite frugal or you could be quite expensive. But in terms of the overall messaging around it, it's one of the most value for money holidays you can possibly get. It's got all the entertainment on board as well. So I think if I look at myself from a holiday perspective, you don't want to have to think about where you're going to go, where you're going to eat, how are you going to keep the kids entertained during a 12-hour day period. You want to go and relax, and that's really what the cruise offers you. It offers you the opportunity to unpack once. Kids have all the activities on board that they could possibly want. There's a kids club. There's monitored and safe environment for them to play in. You can relax and enjoy yourself, and you get an opportunity to go and see various island destinations that possibly you wouldn't have been able to see through normal channels of holiday space. So for me, it's really something around the convenience, the entertainment value, and all the inclusivity that the cruise offers. And it's a great opportunity to collate, to gather with friends and celebrate something special.
I think that's probably one of the most important aspects, is actually getting a gang of people together, because the cruises that I've been on with you guys, the ones that I've had the most fun have been the ones where you get a whole gang of people together, 8 or 10, 4 couples or whatever. I remember doing a boys' cruise where there were 10 of us who I think we nearly sank one of your ships, actually, because it was
probably not.
but that is part of the fun. Is just that camaraderie, and it's a different way of life, and you, as you say, you don't have to worry about a thing. It's all catered for.
Yeah, and I think it caters for a large different sort of perspective of people. You can go on with a group of 10 guys and have a great boys' weekend. You could go on with your family and have a relaxing family holiday. You're also sitting out on MSC Orchestra, for example, has 858 balconies. You've got your own private balcony that you get a chance to look out at the open ocean. If that's something that excites you, it's great. I mean, I've been on a couple of cruises where I've seen whales, I've seen dolphins. It's been phenomenal, and it's an experience I wouldn't have had sitting on the shore.
Absolutely. Now, you guys have very kindly come on board, if I can use the phrase, with us over this Christmas period, because from next Monday through until the 10th of January, when we come back on air, which we'll be making the announcement on the Thursday, 11, 12, 13, the 13th of January, you've come up with a very special offering for Mansfield Today subscribers. Tell us about it, Ross.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of offers on the table at the moment. With the prize is one of the things you want to talk about as well, I presume, Jeremy.
Yeah, Absolutely.
So yeah, so we'll offer 2 4-night cruises for 2 people in a balcony cabin with all the mandatory charges paid. So it's actually nothing that you need to pay for other than your drinks on board, and we'll offer that to your guests.
And then you also have a whole lot of specials coming up, which we're going to be running, by the way, so you don't have to take notes of this right now. We'll run them through the whole of December on our ticker tape and January as well. So you can pick up those specials that MSC are offering and get hold of them and take advantage of some of those specials, which are like what, Ross? What are you throwing into?
So we've got the buy one get one free promotion, which is running. So if you buy one cabin, you get another cabin free. So you were talking about the great opportunity for welcoming friends on board. It's a good opportunity for you to pay for one cabin and get the other one free. You can have your guests, your friends, come on board with you and celebrate through the festive season, and that's running all the way up through to the end of December.
Ross Falk, thank you very much, MD of MSC Cruises Southern Africa. Thank you for the prizes that you have given to us here on Mansfield today to give away. As I said, we'll be running all of those MSC specials on the ticker tape through the duration of December and the first part of January. Please do take a look at them. Get hold of MSC and go off and have an absolute blast with the gang from MSC Cruises in Southern Africa. That's it from the Travel Show on Mansfield today. If we don't catch you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year. And we'll catch you live again on the 10th of January. Bye-bye now.
MSC Cruises, a world of discovery.